What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another ranking video, and this time around we are going to be doing every single raid from Destiny 1 and 2 combined from worst to best. This might be a long video, so bear with me, and this is also all opinion based. I have done every single raid on both games multiple times on different characters, so I can tell you with LFGs and friends what my personal opinion is on which ones are the worst and best. So starting at number 15, we have Crota's End. I say that this is the worst because it is too half-assed, too short. You can solo it. There's a lot of exploits, cheeses, and bugs. And overall, the idea of you being able to solo a raid doesn't sit right with me. It feels more like a dungeon, and you don't even have to be a good player to be able to do this. That's the part that sucks the most. If it was down to skill, that'd be a different story, but anyone can do this. At number 14, we have Spire of the Stars. Now, you might be thinking that's a layer, that's not a raid, but I'm still counting it because otherwise this list would be so short, and I want to make them part of the list, not an honorable mention. That being said, I have Spire of the Stars at number 14 because not only is it very boring and overcomplicated. You might be thinking overcomplicated means good. That's not the case. The mechanics in this raid layer, whatever you want to call it, are honestly so boring, tedious, overcomplicated, take too long, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, this is just not a good designed layer at all. That being said, though, at number 13 we have Eater of Worlds. Now this, it's a little bit better. The boss is actually cooler. It's not something that feels straight out of something from another game that was recycled and half-assed. It's actually kind of cool, and it shows you a lot of mechanics that you end up using years later to this day in Destiny. That being said, you can tell that it's filler. You're not really going to get anything out of this except maybe like a 30-minute run. You'd probably spend more time in the jumping puzzle than in the actual boss fight. At number 12, we have Crown of Sorrow. Crown of Sorrow is better. The boss fight is a little bit harder than Eater of Worlds and Spire of the Stars, but regardless, I believe that it's a little bit better solely because of that, and the mechanics of having to tag team and swap buffs and debuffs is really cool, and it actually, to this day, is something that we still do. At number 11, I have the King's Fall raid from Destiny 2. Now, yes, I am going to include the original and the remastered version in Destiny 2 for King's Fall and Vault of Glass. So the reason I have it at 11, King's Fall, the Destiny 2 version, that is because it's good, but they had years to improve. Like, people know about Oryx, right? People know who Oryx is, as well as Savathûn and Cebu and all this other stuff. Like, they had a lot of potential. There's a lot of things that people were begging for when the original raid came out, and they could have delivered here but chose to not do it. I'm not talking specifically about the difficulty of the encounters, but just overall what the people wanted. Having craftable weapons is cool. Having its own seal is cool. It having master mode is cool. All this stuff is cool, right? People wanted a Taken shader when you kill Oryx. That's what people really wanted, and this was the perfect time to do it. But regardless, apart from all of that, I think the original version was a lot better. And speaking of, at number 10, we have the original Vault of Glass. The reason I say that this is not so much a good raid is because, yeah, mechanically and stuff like that, it's cool. It served its purpose. But as soon as all the oracles spawned, you just had to shoot them. You didn't have to do them in order. It was very easy. That's why I have it at a high place, I guess you could say, because it just doesn't compare to the Destiny 2 version where you have to do it in a different order. At number 9, we have Leviathan. I'm not going to speak too much on this. We have come back to this location now and a couple seasons ago when we had the whole Castellum thing with the Nightmare bindings and stuff like that. It's a pretty safe raid, pretty safe encounters. Everything is like pretty mild, not too special, not too bad, not too good. It's just there. At number 8, better than Leviathan, I have Scourge of the Past because of the scenery, the encounters, what it was all about, the weapons, everything. I just think that this is a better raid overall because of its aesthetic, and not only that, but everything that it included and the time that it was rolled out as well. It just has a lot of nostalgia too. Next up, I have Garden of Salvation. Now, this raid from a bird's eye view is very cool. We're basically in the Black Garden. We're fighting Veg. Mechanics inside of the raid themselves are pretty self-explanatory. They're not hard. It's very interesting, and the whole going from one island to another, getting modes and playing Gambit, I do not like that, but it makes sense, and I applaud how unique they try to make it, even though a lot of people might argue that it's pretty boring. I personally think it's a good raid, but it's lacking a lot. I just feel like there's a lot of things, especially encounters. The waterfall encounter is nothing but parkour. I feel like they could have added something else there. But higher, I do have Vow of the Disciple. Now you might be thinking, okay, how is Vow of the Disciple higher than Garden? The reason why is because Vow of the Disciple, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful raids ever made. and I will fight anyone on that. I will die on that hill. Vow of the Disciple is just amazing. That being said, Leviathan had 4 symbols, then Last Wish said, fuck it, let's add like, what, 15? And now these dudes decided to add 30. It's too many symbols, it's too overcomplicated. Is it easy? Yes. If you know what you're doing, the raid is pretty easy, but it just feels like a mess. It feels like a shit show. It feels like you're running a gauntlet all the way up to Rogue, which is basically what you're doing, because you can see Rogue and the boss fight where you will inevitably fight in from spawn, which is cool, but I just see it more as a gimmick. I see it more as a really cool place that's very amazing. It looks beautiful. The weapons are insane. They're also craftable. I think it's the only raid where every single weapon is a guaranteed hit. I think the exotic is dog shit, but regardless, the raid itself, I think it's amazing. Rogue, amazing boss. We don't even know what he is, or at least we didn't when it came out, which is what I like the most about it, because it just feels new. It feels foreign. It feels like we're somewhere we're not supposed to. In other places, oh, we're in a city. Like Surge of the Past, we're in a city. Oh, here we're in the Black Garden fighting Vex and Garden. That's cool. But here, we're inside of a pyramid. Things that we were afraid of for the longest. At number 5, I have Vault of Glass, the Destiny 2 version. And like I said, I think it's way better than the original, not only because of it having a seal and having other things as well to accompany it, as well as the little tweaks and stuff that they added, but also them making it so that the Oracle encounter is a lot harder and thus more enjoyable. Because if you just have one person shoot every single Oracle, that's boring and it just feels like it takes way too long. So I like that Destiny 2 basically improved on that. At number 4, we have Deepstone Crypt. This raid is basically tied with Vow of the Disciple in terms of aesthetic. People say other raids look better. This is just amazing. Like, you cannot tell me, like, I rank it at number 4 solely based off of the catwalk alone when you're going into the other space station type thing. That alone is just like beautiful. The weapons are good. It would be better if the fucking weapons dropped with the red borders already and you wouldn't have to do 20 encounters just to get one. But it doesn't matter. The point is, it is a very beautiful place. It is a very good aesthetic. I'm glad Europa finally had some love. What the story relating to the raid is about is amazing. The dialogue, the bosses, everything about this, I swear to God, is perfect, except having to recycle another boss. This is like the 20th time, I swear to God, I've seen Taniks's face. I'm tired of that. At number 3, I have the original King's Fall. Now, I don't really have to speak much on this. When this came out, it literally shook the whole game. It revived the game basically, and that's why I have it at number 3. I think this is one of the best raids of all time. It is my favorite raid in terms of what it's about, but that doesn't mean that it is my favorite overall in terms of me thinking it's perfect. At number 2, I have Wrath of the Machine. Now, everything related to Siva is amazing, and I swear to God, I will delete my channel if Bungie does not do something Siva related in the future, because it is too amazing and there was so much content and so much to improve on. There was literally so much innovation relating to Siva that they did a whole raid regarding it, and it was amazing, and people wanted more. People were not content. People wanted literally more, and that's basically when the game ended, and then Destiny 2 started, and we haven't heard of Siva in a long time. Maybe Outbreak Perfected, Outbreak Prime, that's basically it. Like, it would be cool to get a season, an armor theme, right? It would be cool to have something. Now you might be thinking, no, we have ornaments for exotic pieces that are like that. Yeah, that's cool, but an activity, a season, an event, something, right? That's needed, because it just feels like a completely new concept and something that is very detailed, and it took time, and it's actually really fucking badass. That just kind of like got ignored. For all we know, we will never see it again, and I wish we do, because Wrath of the Machine is a truly perfectly crafted raid. I swear to God, I'll die on that hill. It is damn near flawless. But you want to know what is flawless? That is Last Wish. Giving players, okay, the ability to skip encounters is cool. Rewarding them for not skipping and doing the whole thing is even better. This is the longest raid, tied with King's Fall. It has a lot of bosses, it has a lot of weapons, it has a lot of secret chests, it has a lot of little surprises. You can say King's Fall has a hidden basketball court. That's cool. This has hidden ships and sparrows and different things that you can get. The Wall of Wishes gives you a lot of different benefits. You're basically rewarded when you complete the Queen's Walk with 24 different chests that, depending on how many keys you have from killing Riven, you can go and open at any given point. You cannot craft the weapons, but a lot of them roll with really good rolls to begin with. The boss fight is extremely difficult, thus making it really perfect, because you might be thinking, bro, how long is this going to take? And then you finally get there. You kill the boss after a long time if you do it legit and not cheese Riven, and then you're not done. You have to do the Queen's Walk. Accompany that, another video that I made recently ranking every single seal in the game. Ribbon's Bane is the hardest and most impressive seal to get in the game. It's not a shocker that Last Wish is the rate where you actually get that. Going in between dimensions, the boss fights, I would say, are a little easy now because we're so overpowered, which is something something I really hope we see change in Lightfall, but that's like a topic for another video. That being said, let's be real. This raid is flawless, and topping it might be really difficult. I used to think King's Fall was the best until Last Wish. Regardless, that's what I believe. So if you have any other opinions or if you would rank them differently, let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments, but I will catch you guys later. Comment down below if you disagree or agree, and I will catch you guys later with a different video. Peace out, everyone.